to class today, 8th graders. So today we're going to talk about being responsible computer users. We're also going to discuss a project that we're going to do between English and library, and it's going to be reading biographies, which we're going to pick out today, and reviewing what ethics and morals are, because I know you just finished talking about Martin Luther King. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to do our project. So we're going to create blogs in a program called EduBlog, and I think that today you guys will be able to log in and start working with it. So what I want you to think about, students come in, they all sit at desks. The desks are in a group of 4, and already on their desks are all of the activity sheets that we're going to do for today and a laptop computer. So once they're sitting, what I want you to think about today are what are ethics and morals? And I know that those are really big words and tough concepts. So in thinking about Martin Luther King, I want you each to pick one word that describes Martin Luther King's character. And I'll give them about a minute or so to do that. They can chat with a friend. And while they're doing that, I will write the essential question on the board. Okay, so we're going to talk about Martin Luther King, and when we do, I want you to think about you and being in this classroom and what an ethical digital citizen looks like. So these are some examples of things that students might come up with. I threw some in there like, assassinated activists, nonviolent protests, because I figure I'm not going to get all of the answers that I want. But hopefully the students will come up with some of the ones that I am focused on, and examples of those are highlighted in purple. So I would like to talk about characteristics of persistence, bravery, trustworthiness, patience, and leadership, to use as some examples of what's ethical and moral. So I'll have them raise their hands and discuss. This will take about a minute. All right, thank you for sharing what you think ethics and morals are. So when we're really thinking about ethics and morals, we're thinking about a person's standards, right? What they think is right versus what they think is wrong, and how we behave. And so what we're focusing on today is ethics for digital citizens. Does anybody know what a digital citizen is? So a digital citizen is us as users of the computer, of our cell phones, of technology, and how we interact with each other, right? Because you send your friends text messages, you send them emails, you comment on their Facebook pages. In all of those ways, you're being a digital citizen. And we want to make sure that you're a honest, respectful, and empathetic digital citizen. So we're going to go over some vocabulary today. Then we're going to talk about our acceptable use policy that our school has, which we've already talked about, but we're going to review it. We're going to highlight some key words in the acceptable use policy. And we're going to create a code of conduct for our class that's going to help us with our project in the class blog. And that code of conduct will help us be respectful to everyone. Next, we're going to do a quick search on some famous figures that I've provided you with in biography and context. And that's going to get you ready to pick out your biography, which you will be reading over the next month or so. And they are all lined up on the table over there. So you will get your chance to pick them out after we do our computer stuff. And then lastly, once you choose your biography, we're gonna sign into EduBlog, which is the blog that you're going to be using to be a digital citizen for this biography project. Now, at the end of class, when you sign into EduBlog, it's going to be worth a quiz grade. So I really need you guys to be awesome, on point, and get through this lesson so that we can finish our quiz. So some vocabulary that we're going to talk about today: the acceptable use policy outlines how a school or district expects its community members, meaning adults and students, right, to behave with technology. So the acceptable use policy often talks about what is not acceptable. We're also going to talk about ethical computer behavior, which supports learning, sharing, trusting, and nurturing. And when we think of this, we think about all of those words that we've been talking about. And a lot of those things are qualities that MLK exemplified in real life, right? We're also going to be using EduBlog, which is a Web 2.0 platform. And I know that's a big word, but it's a really cool thing that allows you to participate in your own learning. So instead of me just giving you things, you guys are actually going to be able to create and publish your projects. So they won't just be shared with us in class, but we're going to put them on our website, and anybody can see them who goes to the school's website. So I think that that will be pretty cool. And your parents will probably be proud of you for publishing something. And we're going to look at keyword searching, which is basically using how we speak to think of a keyword that describes a person, place, or thing that we're looking for. If we're looking in the library catalog, it's going to be a book, right? So, what is our AUP? Now, we're going to move on to a group project that the students are doing. At each of the sets of 4 desks, there is a page that outlines a portion of the AUP. So I chunked it and gave it to the different groups of students. That way, because it is native big language, and that way each small group of students can review a portion of the AUP, discuss it amongst each other. Then they're going to put it in their own words and share that with the class. So I'm going to tell them to highlight keywords that are in the portion of the acceptable use policy on your table. And then I want you and your friends to put your names on this sheet, the date, the class section that you're in, the title of your portion, whether it's the purpose of AUP, internet is a privilege, or rules to note. I want you to tell me the key words that you highlighted, and then I want you to put the AUP in your own words. So I'm going to give them about 10 minutes to do this, and as they're doing this, I'm going to walk around and help them. Some examples of keywords that they may have picked out might be, internet, downloaded files, potential for misuse. If they're not picking out those keywords, I'll assist students and kind of prompt them to do that. I didn't group them purposely. I just let them sit with who they wanted to sit with. So if there is a group of students that is struggling, I'll provide them with some extra help, or the teacher will if they are in class with us. So after that, we're going to come back, and each group is going to post their responsible use on the board, and we're going to discuss it, and that will just be about a minute or 2. And then I'm going to have them come up with some rules for our blog, and so that while they're thinking about the AUP, they're thinking about ethical use, we're going to create some quick rules. So does anybody have a rule that they might want to use when we're blogging? How should we be treating our classmates? Jenny?
Be kind to each other.
Be kind to each other. Right. That's really important, right? And if we're kind to each other, then we won't be nervous about publishing our work and putting it out there, right? Does anybody else have an example? What about if we don't like something that somebody has put up and we have a way that we might say it better? What could we do?
Instead of just saying we don't like it, we should say maybe why they could have done it better.
Yeah, maybe suggest a solution, right? Excellent. And I'll have them come up with about 5 of them. I came up with them in the blog, so I'll show you guys when we get to that. So now, you're gonna open your laptops and sign in, and I want you to look at the Pick 3 biography sheet. On the top of that sheet, you will see there are names of people that, the biographies that I chose for you to look through, of people who are similar to Martin Luther King in their character, right? They're all famous people who have stood for a cause, they were respectful, honest, persistent. And I want you to look in Biography and Context, which is a database we have used in the past here. And you're just gonna search for your person. So I might put in Rosa Parks. And it's gonna present me with a short biography of her. The reason we're doing this is because I want you guys to familiarize yourself with the biographies available to see if you actually like this person before you go and pick out your biography. So you just wanna scan this, fill in who they are, what their occupation is, what did they do, is this person new to you? And then also how you think their values relate to MLK. Now you might not know how they relate, but I want you to take a guess at it. And then I want you to click on this bar over here called Citation Tools. And so I know where you got your information, I want you to copy and paste this into a Word document because this is going to be part of your quiz. Does everybody understand what they're doing with biographies and context? Okay. So I'm going to give them about 10 minutes to do that. For students who are maybe not moving as fast as some other students, I'll say, you know, you can do one person or you can do 2 people and that'll be fine. So these are the instructions I'm just going to leave up on the board while they're doing their project. In case they have any questions, they can see examples here on the board. And now we're going to come back together, class, and I'm going to show you what our EduBlog looks like. So I want you to log in on your computer to your email, and I have sent you each an email that will help you sign into the EduBlog. Once you've signed into the EduBlog, I want you to explore it. Now I've written some things for you. What I have up there now is an example of what our possible blogging rules might be. You know, only post photos and words that are appropriate for a school setting, cite your sources, and those will stay up there throughout the blog. But I've also added pages, and in order to get them to find the pages and look through the blog, that's what I've created the quiz for, because I want to check for their understanding. So you will get 5 points for logging into the blog as a student contributor. I want you to explore the class blog. You need to locate the page called Class 1 Complete, and you're going to follow the instructions for posting. That's also going to be worth 5 points. You're going to make a comment on the Leadership Qualities page, which you have to locate, and that's where you're going to paste that citation from your biographies and context that you did a few minutes ago. You're also going to tell me the title of your biography. I forgot to tell you, in between EduBlog and biographies and context, they had 10 minutes to pick out their biography. And then we're going to locate and fill in the exit form, and that will also be worth 5 points. So the exit form will hopefully pull the lesson together for them and check for our essential understanding, which is what does being an ethical digital citizen look like? And this is what they'll get a quiz grade on. So I'll walk around the room and make sure that everybody is doing it. And so we have the following quality does not describe Martin Luther King. We have a question about what an acceptable use policy is. I want them to think about why they're an ethical digital citizen because. I want to know if they're going to be confident using EduBlog to create their project. I want to know the title of their biography. And I want them to do some critical thinking as to what their hypothesis will be that their person shares characteristic traits with MLK. So I'm getting them to kind of think ahead, think about themselves, and think about an AUP. And next class, we are going to create more things on our blogs. You're going to make your own page. We're going to add multimedia. And we're going to start being ethical digital citizens by commenting on our friends' pages. So I hope you start to enjoy your biographies, and I will look forward to seeing you next week. All right.